Hey everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. So go ahead and get your coffee because I've got mine. This is going to be a super impromptu sort of a video. It's going to be another little strategy drop slash discussion, whatever you want to call it. And in this video, I want to discuss with you guys a specific engagement that happened with me and my squad. Now, we ended up winning this engagement, but I still felt like we made a bunch of tiny little mistakes, and for that reason, I feel like there is some value in analyzing this situation. Now, I'll run the engagement here in a little bit and let you guys see the whole engagement in real time, but there are some thoughts and some PUBG theory that I want to get across before I do. So, like I said, we did win this particular engagement, but the thing that I want to talk about is that you can't be results oriented. That's just not how PUBG Mobile works. Just because something worked one time doesn't make it right, and just because something didn't work, it also doesn't make it wrong. There are just far too many variables out there in PUBG, and that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to give a definitive, exacting answer to a PUBG question, since there often isn't a single correct answer. And that right there is the single reason why I love PUBG. It's because the game makes you think. It forces you to be a creative individual, unlike so many other games out there which just have one size fits all solution. Each and every engagement is new, and it's exciting, and there are different angles and different guns and different skill sets, and you simply can't premeditate. Just because you saw someone do something at some time doesn't mean that it will work for you every time. So how do you know what to do? What is right? What is wrong? Well, the game rewards you for adopting good practices and constantly making solid logical decisions and then doing them over the long run. And this extends to solos and duos and to squads as well. And by doing that, you're only going to guarantee an increased chance of success. Note, not success itself, but only an increased chance of it. Anyways, now that I've got that out of my system, what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and play the clip in the background and I'll let you guys have a look at the actual engagement in real time. While you're watching it, try and see if you can figure out some of the missteps, or just in general, think about how you and your squad would go about this engagement differently. And afterwards, I'll rewind and break down my thoughts on what I feel should have been done differently. Alright, so now that you guys have seen the actual engagement, let's talk about some of the things in more detail. So, first of all, we got off to a really good start. Number 3 gets us off with 1 knock, followed by 2 from me. Now, at this point in time, I'm thinking numbers advantage. 3 of us and 1 of them. And that person is also not really placed so well. There's really not a lot of hard cover. So, our best bet is to push now and push hard before the smokes go up. Now, keep in mind, when you're pushing in the open like that, it's usually not a good move, except in this case, it's such a huge competitive advantage. 300 HP versus 100 HP, or 110 HP if you get to revive in. At this point, you can just brute force it. Even if one of your guys gets knocked, that's okay because you can afford to trade HP at this point. You work so hard for that advantage, now's the time to cash in. And so we obviously push in a car because, well, without a car, you can't really push straight in the open here in such a situation. Now, everything is fine so far, but this is where things start to go wrong, starting with number 3. When I call for a push on comms, I expect everyone in the car, but for the HP trade logic to work, I need you to have HP, and you'll notice that number 3 does not. He should have popped a heal in before jumping in the car, but he doesn't. Now, at this point, I should have stopped the car and told him to get out and pop a heal before entering my car, and I don't. And as a leader, that's my fault. You begin to rationalize one bad decision with another, and I start thinking, alright, well, we still have number 2, and he's got all that HP, so we will be fine. Let's just push anyways. Except number 2 does not pull up to the car. And when I drive by, he does not get in. He's too busy holding the angle with the AWM and clearing the knocks. Now, look. there is value in clearing the knocks in certain situations. For example, imagine if he didn't have a car there. At that point in time, I'd be the first person to say, hey, let's just clear the knocks and reduce the equation in our favor. But right now, we are going for the jugular. We're going for the kill. We need him in the car. We need his HP in the car. But that doesn't happen, and I push anyways. That's my fault. Things in this game happen really quickly, and you don't have time to freeze frame and call an emergency meeting, and decisions have to be made quickly. And here it seemed that every decision that we made was just flat out wrong. And to make things even worse, I think that at the very least, number 3 will start pumping those bandages in, but in the 16 seconds that he has to get some heal in, he doesn't even do that. He's too busy clearing the knocks. Now, listen, I might make a whole separate video about when to clear knocks, but let's just be honest, I'm not happy right now with what's happening in this engagement. So as we are pushing, me and number 3 in the car, let's just reassess where my plan is. The 300 versus 100 HP push is now a pseudo 100 versus 100 HP push. I say pseudo because I want you to remember that while we are pushing as the driver, I can't shoot back, but I sure as hell can take damage. Now, as I play this through, you'll see that number 3 gets knocked as he deserved to on the first stray bullet. Number 2 and I are largely separated. The enemy has a big boy gun, a M249, and he's running towards the nearest tree for cover. And if he gets there, what are my options? I mean, what are my options that allow me to keep all of my squad members alive at this point? If I don't stop my car and get out immediately, he finishes my partner. If I do get out and don't perfectly time my exit and give the guy even a peek, he can gun me down. If he guns me down, it's over for me and number 3, because number 2 is really far away, and that is why we needed everyone in the car. Now, you might say, oh, but you jumped out of the car anyways, and yes I did. Yes, I did. Because in that split second, something changed. We caught a break. We got lucky, even though we didn't deserve it. Boom. There. The only reason why I was able to stop there is because of that fortunate AWM shot from number 2. When I see the blood splatter, at that point I knew I could HP trade. I had to try to HP trade. And it was touch and go. If he gets to the cover safely, I'm dead. I'm in the middle of the field laying right in front of him. So we did win this engagement, but we lost everything else. Our hopes, our dreams, and everything else we thought this life was going to bring us. Okay, maybe that's a bit much, but the point here is that in the middle of engagements, every single tiny detail matters. Every little small percentage point adds up over the course of an engagement, over the course of entire games. So when you're in the middle of it all, just make sure that you stay calm and keep making smart, logical decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for you today. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. If you enjoy this type of content, be sure to drop a like and a subscribe for more such videos, and also check out some of my other videos as well. That's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.